Right now, wherever you are, there is probably a fan somewhere nearby. On the ceiling, on your desk, in your phone, inside your laptop. You don't think about it. You don't notice it. It's just there, moving air, keeping you comfortable, silently doing its job. But here is a question almost nobody asks. Where did it come from? The fan is one of the oldest inventions in human history, long before electricity, long before industry, long before machines. Humans looked at the air around them and thought, I need to move this. I need to feel something cooler. I need relief. And from that simple, desperate human need, an entire history was born. A history that stretches across ancient Egypt, imperial China, feudal Japan, revolutionary Europe, and industrial America. A history filled with emperors, inventors, artists, and ordinary people, all connected by one thing, the desire to stay cool. In this documentary, we are going to trace that entire journey, from the very first palm leaf waved by human hands to the spinning electric machines that changed the modern world. This is the history of the fan, and it is far more extraordinary than you ever imagined. Welcome to Opie Vault. To understand the history of the fan, we have to go back, far back, about 5,000 years back to the ancient world. In ancient Egypt, the heat was relentless. The Nile Delta could reach temperatures that made simple survival a daily challenge. And in a world without air conditioning, without refrigerators, without any modern cooling technology, what did people do? They used fans, but not just any fans. In Egypt, fans were not a simple tool. They were a symbol of royal power. Massive fans, made from ostrich feathers, palm leaves, and decorated with gold, were carried by servants and slaves beside the pharaoh. The larger the fan, the greater the ruler. In ancient India, similar traditions existed. Palm leaf fans were used in temples during religious ceremonies. The slow, rhythmic movement of air was considered sacred, a gift from the gods to the people below. And in ancient China, perhaps the most advanced fan culture in the ancient world, evidence of fans dates back over 3,000 years. Chinese fans were made from bamboo, feathers, silk, and jade. They were given as royal gifts. They were carried by scholars, warriors, and emperors alike. The fan was everywhere, and its story was just beginning. Of all the ancient civilizations that developed fan culture, China and Japan took it furthest. And it is in these two countries where the fan transformed from a simple tool into something much more powerful. It became an art form, a language, and a symbol of society itself. In China, by the time of the Han Dynasty, around 200 BC, fans had become extremely sophisticated. One Chinese emperor reportedly had a large rotary fan, a machine with multiple blades, operated by workers to cool the entire imperial hall. That is not a hand fan. That is the world's first mechanical fan. But the revolution truly arrived when Japan invented something no one had seen before, the folding fan. Known in Japanese as the sensu, the folding fan appeared in Japan around the 6th or 7th century AD. It was compact, it was elegant, it was revolutionary. You could carry it in your sleeve, open it with a flick of the wrist, and display its beauty to the world. Japanese folding fans were decorated with poetry, paintings, and gold leaf. They became luxury items, traded by nobles, gifted by emperors, and eventually exported across Asia and into Europe. The fan had become a global language. When the folding fan reached Europe in the 16th century, it caused a sensation. European nobility, particularly in France, Spain, and England, immediately adopted the fan as a fashion accessory. Fan making became a serious industry. Fan guilds were formed in London and Paris. Highly trained craftsmen produced fans from ivory, tortoiseshell, lace, and hand-painted silk. At the court of Versailles, the fan was not just decoration, it was communication. French noblewomen developed an entire secret language of the fan. The way you held it, moved it, opened or closed it, all carried specific social messages. This was called the language of the fan. It was practiced seriously across European high society for over 2 centuries. But the true revolution came not from fashion, it came from electricity. In 1882, an American engineer named Schuyler Scotts Wheeler invented the world's first electric fan. It had 2 blades and no safety guard. Within a decade, electric fan companies were appearing across America, Europe, and Asia. The General Electric Company began mass-producing fans. By 1900, the electric fan was no longer a luxury. It was becoming a household necessity. The age of the modern fan had arrived. The invention of the electric fan did not just cool rooms, it reshaped entire societies. Before electric fans, summer in cities was dangerous. Urban heat killed thousands every year. Offices closed, factories slowed. People slept on rooftops and fire escapes just to find a breath of cool air. Hospitals were overwhelmed. The wealthy escaped to countryside retreats. The poor simply suffered. The electric fan changed that equation. For the first time in history, ordinary working people could afford relief from the heat. Factories kept running through summer. Offices stayed open. Productivity rose. Cities became livable in ways they never had been before. But the impact went deeper than comfort. The electric fan was also a critical stepping stone to air conditioning. The engineers who studied how fans moved air were building the knowledge that would lead to the first modern air conditioner. This innovation, perfected by Willis Carrier in 1902, revolutionized indoor environments across the globe. By the 1920s, fans were being produced in America, Britain, Germany, China, and Japan, and sold to every corner of the world. A simple idea, a world-changing result. So what is the fan, really? It is easy to look at the ceiling fan above you and think that is just a machine. Simple, ordinary, unremarkable. But now you know the truth. That fan carries the memory of an Egyptian pharaoh's royal court. It carries the elegance of a Japanese noblewoman's silk sensu. It carries the craftsmanship of a French fan maker's guild. It carries the electricity of a determined American inventor in 1882. It carries the ambition of every factory worker, every engineer, every ordinary human being who wanted to simply feel comfortable. The fan is not ordinary. The fan is the story of humanity's endless refusal to accept discomfort, our endless push to solve problems, our endless creativity in the face of something as basic as heat. And that story, it did not end in 1882 or 1920 or even today. Because in our next episode, we are going to look at the invention that the fan made possible, the invention that truly transformed the modern world, the air conditioner. Stay curious, stay with us, like, comment and subscribe to OP Vault, and we will see you in the next one.